Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Basic Model Railroading. Today I am contemplating doing something with an industry on this channel, on my layout too. What I'm looking at is a possible switchback that is in a combined or confined space on the layout. And you can see this is what it looks like and how it comes off the main line, bends through here and goes back up and then comes here. Now, you may say, why am I doing this? And honestly, I ask myself that question. Why am I doing this? Well, one, it adds some interest to the layout because it's not just a break-off siding that just sits there with cars. Two, it also helps me to employ some of the smaller locomotives I have because an operation like this would typically need it, and it would add some excitement to this. And I wanted to use this particular switch here because it's a really tight switch, but I couldn't help ignore that this could be used even on this layout. And you're restricted on what you can do here, but real railroads also had the same problem in the past where you had restrictive sidings and they weren't designed for every locomotive and so on. You got the freight passing here in a minute with Lehigh Valley 408. There she is. And for instance, that locomotive there would not be able to negotiate this switch, but a small Plymouth like the ones made by Walters or Broadway Limited, they can easily handle it. So it'd be kind of fun to have an industry that has a dedicated locomotive to it, sort of like a railroad within a railroad, and that they would switch this industry. I have not decided what to do here yet, but I am still thinking maybe a scrapyard or just an inside buildings type thing where you have cars that come in. They'd have to be dropped off here. A small locomotive would pull them into the, there you go, would pull them into the building itself and so on and move this. Now it's interesting, where I grew up in Buffalo, we had an industry on Niagara Street that actually had a turntable where this track here, the cars would be shoved in and then the turntable would turn them around and then they'd shove them into a building that would be located here if this was in model form. Now, a lot of people talked about this, knew about it. It's long since gone because the industry had closed. They ripped it all out, but it was a unique feature on the Niagara branch. Initially, that wasn't the case when the industry was built, but when they realigned the track later on, it became a necessary evil to put this turntable in to move the car back in. So that was the story with that. And this kind of mirrors the same type of situation where they had to build the track layout the way it is. And unfortunately, it had to require special moves and stuff. I've seen many industries and many places that are like that. So check back later as we progress with the layout. Here he is again. And we'll see where this goes. And if you have any comments or suggestions for an industry, we can think about that too. Again, thanks for watching.